Welcome, my friends. I hope you are fit and fine at your home. And you know that already we have discussed about the behavior of the electric circuit and the concept of the electric current and the electric potential. So, electric potential is the responsible of the flow of charge, and because of that movement of the charge, the electric current flows through a circuit. Today we are going to discuss the Ohm's law, which is the very important law which will explain the behavior of a circuit. So to understand the electric circuit and what is the importance of the Ohm's law, let us discuss an activity. Suppose we have a conductor. Suppose we have a conductor and which is connected through a cell such that there is a potential divider arrangement. Potential divider arrangement is there. What is the potential divider arrangement? It is a kind of regulator. With the help of regulator, you are simply changing the potential difference across this conductor. That means you want to change the potential difference across this conductor. So for that, you are using the regulator. For example, in your home, you are using the regulator to control the speed of the fan. So by changing the regulator position, you are changing the potential difference across the fan, and that is why you are getting the different values of the RPM, rotation of the fan. The similar concept is a kind of regulator which is called the rheostat. And I am connecting here a device which is called the ammeter, and here I am connecting a device which is called the voltmeter. So first of all, what is ammeter and voltmeter? So ammeter is a device which can calculate what is the amount of current flowing through the circuit. Right? So this device simply gives you the reading, what is the amount of current flowing through the circuit. And what is this voltmeter? Voltmeter will give you what is the potential difference across these 2 points. Right? So you know that the potential difference, if you want to find out the potential difference, you have to take the 2 points. That means the potential difference of these 2 points is indicated by this voltmeter. And with the help of this rheostat, you can simply vary the voltage potential difference across this conductor. So conductor is a simple kind of wire. Simple is a kind of wire, and simple you are making this kind of arrangement. Right? So according to Ohm's law, what is the basic fundamental of the Ohm's law? Suppose if you are with the help of this regulator, if you are changing the potential difference across this conductor, it is directly proportional to the current flowing through the circuit. Right now, how can I say this one? Simply, if you are increasing the value of the potential difference, that means if you are increasing the voltmeter reading, it is found the ammeter reading is also increasing. Right now, also increasing. So by regulating this one, you are changing the potential difference. For example, initially you are taking the 2 volt, then you are increasing the 2.5 volt, then you are 3 volt, 3.5, 4 volt, like that. If you are increasing the potential difference with the help of this arrangement, so because when it is found, when the V is increasing, the I is also increasing. Right? And how is it? By taking the readings of these two devices. By taking the readings of these two devices, you can say that. And it is also found, whenever you are decreasing the value of this V, it is found the value of the current is also decreasing. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that the current flowing through the circuit, the current flowing through the conductor is directly related with the potential difference across the conductor. And one thing is very important, during this measurement, during this calibration, there is no physical change of this conductor. That means we are not changing the parameters of the conductor. That means there is no elongation of the length, there is no heat change of this the environment, or this conductor temperature is not changing. In that case, it is valid. Right? So the conclusion of that, if the physical parameter of the conductor is constant, then the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the conductor. This is Ohm's law. If the physical parameter of the conductor is constant, then the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the conductor, and mathematically you can write V is directly proportional to I. Right? That means I is directly related with the V. Right? So this is your Ohm's law. This is the Ohm's law, and by taking this activity you can find out. By taking this activity, and this is not a simple, this activity, you are simple changing the regulator position and you are taking the readings of these two and you are finding this relation. Right? And you know that whenever you are changing, eliminating the proportionality sign, you have to use a constant. I am using the constant here. V is equals to I into R, where R is proportionality constant and named as resistance of the conductor. So this R is the proportionality constant and which is called the resistance of the conductor. Right? And what is the resistance? The resistance is the opposing behavior of the conductor. See, whenever there is a state change, there is a inertia of the opposition of the state. Already you studied in the class 9. If this object is kept here, it is not moving anywhere because it resists its state. And when you are applying any external force, it will start to move. But still the resistive behavior of this object is there. That is called the inertia. Suppose if you are applying the potential difference across this conductor, you are forcing the charges to move. Initially the charges are stationary, but because of this potential difference or this external source, you are forcing the electron to move in a certain direction. So if the electrons are moving, so that will start to oppose its state change because initially the charges are at rest. But when the this cell is forcing the movement of the charge, so that charge start to oppose. So the opposing behavior of this overall conductor is called the resistance of the conductor. I am repeating again, the overall opposing behavior of the flow of charge of this conductor is called the resistance of this conductor, and which is equal to this proportionality constant. So in simple language you can say that whatever the amount of current flowing through the conductor, it depends upon the opposing behavior of this conductor. Opposing behavior of this conductor. जितना oppose करेगा उतना ज़्यादा current की value कम होगी. Right? Simple. So the opposing behavior is deciding here what is the amount of current flowing through this conductor. Right? You are simply applying the potential difference across the conductor, and this conductor opposing behavior will decide what is the amount of current will flow. Right? For example, you have the different object, so the different force you have to apply to move the object. Right? Similar concept is here. So here from you can see that R is equal to V by I. Right? So if you want to find out what is the unit of this resistance, so here you can see that this is what? Voltage expressed in the volt. So volt divided by ampere. Volt divided by ampere, and this is the commonly known as the resistance ohm. Ohm. And this is the symbol you are using. So this one is equal to ohm. Ohm. So volt per ampere is basically your ohm. 1 ohm. So commonly board examination asks to define the 1 ohm. Define the 1 ohm. So how can define the 1 ohm? So 1 ohm is basically the resistance of that conductor when the 1 volt of the potential difference applied across the conductor, and because of that the 1 ampere of the current is flowing through the conductor. So the resistance of the conductor is 1 ohm. I am repeating again. If you are applying across a conductor 1 volt potential difference and the current flowing through the conductor is 1 ampere. 1 ampere, then the resistance of the conductor is 1 ohm. The basic traditional method to give the definition of any quantity by taking the one unit 1 volt and 1 ampere. So if you want to express 1 ohm, so it is equals to the resistance of that conductor when you are applying the potential difference of 1 volt and current flowing through the conductor is 1 ampere. Right? So this is your basic. Now the symbol of the resistance is different. Already the chart is given in your book. So you can express this circuitry like that. Right? So this is a circuit is similar to this one. So the conductor along with its resistance, the symbol we are using this time. Yeah, this is the symbol which is used to represent a resistance of a conductor like that. So, right? So we are not preferring this type of the arrangement. This is only the activity. You are using a kind of conductor, kind of wire. If you are just simply take the copper wire and connect like that, so you will find this relation. V and I are directly related, and because of that. So this is your Ohm's law, right? This is your Ohm's law, and depends. And one thing is very important: the physical parameter of the conductor should be remain constant throughout the calibration. Throughout the calibration, you are using this law. So this is your Ohm's law. Let us discuss some numerical which is based upon the Ohm's law. So just see the question. This is the example number 12.3 on the page number 208. Right? See the question. How much current will an electric bulb drawn from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohm? And the B part also given. How much current will an electric heater coil draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm? Already I have plotted the diagram of the both the parts. So the first part, when the 220 volt source is connected to a bulb and the bulb resistance is given 1200 ohm, your aim is to find out what is the amount of current is flowing. What is the amount of current is flowing? And the second part is there, the 220 volt again the supply, and the heater is given, the heater coil resistance is given, the 100 ohm, and your aim is to find what is the amount of current flowing in both the cases. Right? I think question is clear and simple. You know that we will apply the Ohm's law. So according to, first of all, write down the given parameter. So given things, if you see for the first case, right now for first case I am writing. So the V is given. V is 220 volt and the value of the resistance. See, the bulb is also kind of conductor. So bulb resistance is given. So resistance is 1200 ohm. The value of the resistance is given, and your aim is to find the I. So according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So here I is equal to V by R. Clear? So V is given 220 volt divided by the resistance 1200. Clear? 1200. The value of this is given. Just simplify to 0.18. 0.18 ampere. 0.18 ampere. You are getting the value of the current. And this is for the first case. You are getting this is the value of the current flowing through this circuit. So in this circuit, 0.18 ampere current is flowing. Let us discuss the second part. In this case, the value of the V is 220 volt same, and the resistance is 100 ohm. Right now, again I is equal to V by R. V is 220, I is 100, 0, so 10, 2.2 ampere. So this time the current flowing is 2.2 ampere. So simple, the out of the three variables, V is equal to IR, out of three variables, any two variables is given and you have to identify the third one. And one thing is important, just check the unit. Unit should be in the ampere system. Then you will find the third quantity unit also in the ampere system. Right? So this is your Ohm's law. I hope you understand. Still, if you have any doubt, mention in the comment section.